Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Bow and Arrow Tarot. If you're new to my channel, I thank you very much for stopping by. We're going to get right into it. This is the middle of December love check-in for the sign of Capricorn. And if you are new to my channel, the format for the mid-monthlies and the monthly love readings, we pull out some romance angel messages. Then we're going to get right into your traditional spread, and then I'll pull some clarifiers from the Thoth deck. All right, Capricorn? All right, let's get right into it. This is the last middle month reading for 2019. And this year has been a doozy, hasn't it, for everyone? Let's just see what you're looking at. All right, we have it is safe for you to love. Very nice. We have keep an open mind, Capricorn. All right, so these are your two messages. And of course, your monthly December, the full month love reading is up. So you can go ahead and check that out if you'd like. But before we know what these messages actually mean for your outlook, let's go ahead and get right into your traditional spread. Now, of course, this reading can only be for some Capricorns out there. It's not going to resonate with everyone, and that's fine. Just take what applies to you, what resonates with you, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly, Capricorn. And don't forget to check the placements of your other planets, okay? Oftentimes we really sort of get sucked into, you know, the sun signs, everyone's sun signs, but people are so much more than that. They have other planets and houses to consider, and so someone is not just their sun sign. They may indeed have a sun in Cancer or Libra, but the rest of their chart may be fire. So you really need to know your own chart as well, all right? So let's get into it. We're going to pull out your simplified Celtic spread. Straight out center, death. Haha. And the Ace of Swords. Wow, Capricorn. Now, I did try to do this reading yesterday, and things just kept not going right. This does happen for me. Sometimes I do my readings, my camera just stops working, literally just stops working properly. And it's always a sign to me that the spirit wants me to wait. So I waited, and today this is what's come up. Very deep. Five of Wands is your conscious position, Capricorn. Eight of Wands is your unconscious. Ace of Wands, so your second ace, powerful, and the Knight of Cups, King of Cups. Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. Awakening, right? Awakening. All right, Capricorn. Wow. I'm going to take a sip of coffee for a minute, and then we're going to get right into it. Just let that soak in. That death and that Ace of Swords is a really powerful combination. So let's do it. At the center. Center card is your main energy covered by the Ace of Swords. Wow, death and transformation, my lovely Capricorns. Well, indeed, this is what's going on for you in your love life, right? Huge transformation, changes on every level, right? You may be changing your environment. You may be changing how you look at love. Everything about your love life is shifting. And death, of course, in the tarot, if you're new to tarot, death, of course, does not mean death in the traditional sense of someone being physically hurt in any way. Death is complete transformation. It's the dying of the old to bring in the new, right? Even on the cards, you can see the old sort of priest or hierophant is dead to make way for the new, with that golden color of enlightenment coming in. Even the skeleton of death, right, is golden. And gold is associated with enlightenment, associated with awareness and understanding. So when death comes in, it's because we're leveling up. We're changing. We're letting go of a shell that no longer applies. It's like a skin, a new skin coming in, right? Shinier, better, stronger, right? Covered by that Ace of Swords, clarity. Some of you are changing your love life fundamentally because you have woken up to a very important side of yourself. Sword is, of course, associated with communication. It's associated with the ego and with the mind. And so the Ace of Swords talks about a whole new understanding coming into you. A vindicative understanding. Oftentimes, Ace of Swords can talk about information, clarity, solutions coming in, right? Inventiveness coming in. But with the Ace of Swords, it also comes in with a sense of victory, a sense of vindication, a sense of realizing something perhaps that you knew in the back of your mind, but now you have the clear thought to formalize it. We're going to get back to that. Top and bottom. Now we can get a little bit deeper into your read. The 5 of Wands is in your conscious position. The 8 of Wands is your unconscious position. So Capricorn, you've got a lot of fire going on right now. 5 is the number for power struggle. So 5 of Wands, we're talking about the type of power struggle where everyone is in competition with everyone else. Right? You can see the 5 youths there. They're battering each other. It can get quite physical. It can get quite violent even, right? Do remember, though, that wands are not swords. And so even though there is a sense of seriousness here, we're talking about our passions, fighting with somebody with our passions, you know, fighting with others to establish dominance, perhaps, or establish your authority. And this is what you're consciously focusing. I'm going to say for some of you, you're realizing that this is what your love life is all about, arguing and bickering, competition, and you've had enough. I think that you're waking up to that because with this Death and Ace of Swords, I think for some of you, and December, by the way, Capricorn, this is the last reading, love reading of the year for you. And December has been a month of blessings coming in. I think your blessing that has come in has been understanding. The blessing of awakening. The blessing of seeing a situation for what it is. Some of you may have been involved in a love scenario that has been nothing but arguing, competition. You may have been constantly feeling as though you've had to compete for somebody's affections, right? You yourself may be in the middle of this. It could be you, right? It could be the sense of everyone around you fighting for your attention. You're just like, ugh, can everyone just stop fighting and competing? I'm not interested in anyone right now, right? Could very well be that. In any case, there is a power struggle in your love life that has taken up your focus and you've just had enough. In your unconscious position, you have an 8 of Wands. Now, the 8 of Wands is interesting because it can indicate a lot of energy coming in, a lot of messages coming in, mixed messages, right? But the 8 is associated with strength, and it is associated with boundaries, enforcing your boundaries to maintain your strength. Major Arcana 8 card is the cards for strength associated with Leo, Leo energy. But 8 of Wands, here we see the need to put boundaries in place so that not everyone's 2 cents can come in. And in the back of your mind, this is how you're feeling. Although you're dealing with this power struggle in the back of your mind, you're also like, look, I'm getting a lot of mixed messages here. Everybody wants to put their 2 cents in. It's time for me to set boundaries. And I think this is the understanding that's coming in for you, Capricorn. This is the Ace of Swords understanding, this realization that part of the reason why you've been having to deal with so many power struggles and arguments and difficulties in terms of interacting with people in your love life is because you haven't put the right amount of boundaries in. You haven't, or if you have put boundaries in place, you haven't been enforcing them. And in the back of your mind, it's just becoming overwhelming, right? It's become too much, right? And so it's time for you to sort of say, look, this is what I will allow you to this is how far I'm going to allow you into my life, into my heart. You know, when you set boundaries and you focus, right? 8 of Wands is Mercury and Sagittarian energy. So what we're talking about is a lot of communication in a very fiery way. But when you set boundaries, you can decipher, or you can, better yet, you can differentiate which messages, which information to pay attention to, and which information to let go. Because not everything that comes into you is important or is for you. And not every sort of... not every person who comes into you in terms of giving their energy or, you know, wanting to put their 2 cents in, not everyone should be allowed to do that. Of course, some people, those that you trust, but deciphering which ones You know, which wands to pay attention to and which wands to let go require boundaries, and they require discernment on your part. And I think this is an understanding that's coming in for you, but this is so new for you, Capricorn, that this is tantamount to a death, because this is an awakening that you're having. Remember the Hanged Man, and there's your Two of Cups. The Hanged Man is all about awakening. Oftentimes, this card is desperately misinterpreted as stuck energy. You know, the thing with the tarot cards is that, you know, we have these cards, so many of them, right, in a deck. Some decks are 72, some are 78, some are 68. All depends on which deck you're dealing with. These cards are very deep. They have a lot deeper meaning than just the one sentence that oftentimes people interpret them as. Oftentimes I see the Hanged Man interpreted as somebody, oh, you're stuck, you're stuck. This is nothing to do with being stuck. The Hanged Man is everything to do with being uninspired and now being inspired. The Hanged Man hasn't moved because he hasn't felt like moving. You can see his attitude just hanging there. It's an attitude that he has of saying, look, I can't be bothered. Nothing has inspired me enough to be bothered. Even the way he's hanging there is lackluster, by one leg, arms behind his back. Ugh, I'm just going to swing here. Yet now he has the halo of awakening and enlightenment around him. So when the Hanged Man comes in, it talks about a profound awakening in your life, a realization in some way, and usually because something has come in to inspire you. Something has come into your life that has made you feel as though it is worth you putting your best foot forward in an area where you haven't felt inspired before. This is the true nature of the Hanged Man. And so when he shows up, it indicates that you are right now you have awoken. You are in the awakening process. And I think this is what you're realizing here. You're realizing that everything must change in your love life if you're going to have, if it's going to be safe for you to love. And it is safe for you to love. However, you do require this change and this understanding. This is such a powerful combination. Awakening and the Ace of Swords. Good God, Capricorn. I'm going to say for some of you, it feels as though, like, boom, like the light has come on. Right? It's going to feel almost like a bolt of the divine coming into your life and literally pulling away the cloud of confusion, misunderstandings. Not understanding up until now, you may not have understood why you've constantly had to deal with so much struggle or so much power struggle. But the answer comes to you now in this middle December period. So, what's your energy going in and coming out? We have an Ace of Wands and a King of Cups. Well, this is brilliant indeed. Ace of Wands talks about can be a new love coming in. Remember that the Ace of Wands is the great phallic symbol in the deck. And so oftentimes it can indicate a new project or creative endeavor, surely, or a new avenue for you to sort of follow your passions, right? But it can also indicate a new love coming into your life that is very magnetic and physically powerful, right? Turns you on, just on fire, you know. Beautiful, beautiful attraction. This could very well be one of the reasons why you have had this new understanding. I'm going to say for some of you, someone has come into your life that is very different to the type of people you've normally engaged in, keeping an open mind, right? Because keep an open mind, your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, right? So with the Ace of Wands, we're talking about the type of lover coming in that is really turning you on physically, but it may be somebody that you never ever expected, right? King of Cups is how you come out, which is a dominance in your love life. Finally, you're in charge again. You know what you want. You know who you want, right? I'm going to say for some of you, I feel strongly that this may be you realizing that you are interested in a different sex than you're normally interested in. Could be that you're waking up to being bisexual, right? Or waking up to having a sort of totally different desire for yourself of the type of relationship you want, right? This could be a very taboo relationship, right? This is why I say keep an open mind. And this death coming in, the Ace of Swords, is so powerful. And that's why I say this. For some of you, you may, for the first time in your life, have a same-sex lover that is completely turning you on. right? You could be in your 30s and 40s and this is happening, right? This is a very huge shift in your sort of understanding of what it is you truly desire as a connection, as a love connection. And the way you come out of it is so strong. And I'm going to say this is why for some of you this is such a huge shift. Because you come out of it with a King of Cups, and the King of Cups is absolutely sure of what he wants, who he is, right? It's the fiery aspect of water. Kings are always associated with fire, right? So when we have a king of any suit, we have the fiery aspect of that suit. So with King of Cups, we have the fiery aspect of water. So all of your emotions and your desires, right, in a relationship, you are absolutely sort of engaging. You know, you're the protagonist, right? So the King of Cups is always the protagonist of the love connection, meaning he is the one going out. He is the one sort of going after the one he desires. He is the one in pursuit, right? And he's sure about it, right? He's confident about it. He doesn't, you know, he oftentimes he can be very possessive and jealous, right? To an extreme when this energy is in the extreme. But let's get some clarity here for you, Capricorn. Some of you are really, really shifting your whole idea of what a relationship is for you. Or indeed, you have come across somebody that is so outside your normal purview for a lover, but they turn you on so strongly, and they're making you want to put more effort in. They're making you absolutely want to turn away from this arguing and bickering and usual stress that you have. They're even making you want to sort of put boundaries in place with people that normally you haven't put boundaries in place. Give me some clarity on this reading for Capricorn. And the one thing, Capricorn, it's interesting because a lot of times your readings, your love readings will have a pentacle there somewhere because, you know, your sort of financial status or your material status has a lot to do with how comfortable you feel, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. You are an earth sign, and you are one of these earth signs that really works very hard to maintain, you know, you take pride in your career, your businesses, and what you manifest in the here and now. But this entire reading is all sort of fire. So right now, this is a very big shift in your sort of, in what pulls you, and what kind of connections make you feel passionate, right? All right, here we go. 10 of Wands, more Wands. There's your Hierophant, Chariot, and the Knight of Wands. All right, bottom of the deck, we have 6 of Cups. So a desire to have harmony. 6 of Cups is, wow, well, what can I say? It's Sun in Scorpio, right? Sex, enjoyment, sensuality. In the traditional deck, the 6 of Cups is associated with that soulmate card where we see the 2 children, basically 2 youngsters. But it's not young people. Those are really sort of symbolic of the soul, can often indicate soulmates. But also 6 of Cups talks about wanting harmony in your relationship. 6 is the number for harmony. And so a lot of times, 6 of Cups is just about really enjoying yourself, having pleasure in your interactions. There not being any kind of sort of ego involved or competition involved, as you see here. But just enjoying each other's company and time, building memories, having sensual pleasures as well. Just pleasure in the way you interact with others. All right. Now, let's get right into it. The 10 of Wands has become too oppressive. This arguing has become too much for you. It's become very oppressive. You can see there, 10 of Wands is Saturn and Sagittarius energy. It's time to break free. The limitations of this sort of arguing and the limitations of the oppressive sort of nature of it all. Sorry about the background noise. Living in the city, y'all. 10 of Wands is all about, it's a time to lay it down. It's become too much, right? It's become too much and you've had enough, right? So 10 of Wands is definitely a period where you've decided, you know what? I don't want this burden. I don't want this kind of relationship anymore. It's just, I can't spread my wings and I can't breathe, you know. When you're dealing with this kind of power struggle, sometimes it becomes so much that it does feel as though, you know, you're being stifled in some way, right? Now, in your unconscious Eight of Wands, you're covered with the Hierophant. Yes, you've decided that now, I'm thinking for a lot of you, to put the boundaries in place and enforce them with those around you who've been really sort of just adding to this pressure, right? And you're doubling down on a different way, right? With the Hierophant, it's quite interesting because you're kind of... you're doubling down on sort of like your spiritual outlook with regard to a relationship, right? I think that perhaps a lot of you, what's changing is that you are raising the standard, right? Raising the standard of interaction, right? With someone, right? The standard of interaction with a loved one, right? The Hierophant, it can be a wise teacher who comes into your life. It can also be... It's really talks about commitment, right? The Hierophant is strong commitment, of course, associated with Taurus energy, your sister sign. But the Hierophant talks about a commitment to sort of your moral center and your spiritual center. And I think that it's quite interesting. It's almost as if with this Ace of Wands, earlier what I said, right? It's a whole new type of love connection, right? And it's almost as if this new connection here, right, is highlighting sort of the need for you to have more of a spiritual sort of focus with regard to your relationships. And, you know, an example could be, right, up until now, you may have been dealing with certain types of people, right? And an example, what I go to earlier, right, for some of you. Now, I know this might be an out-of-the-box example, okay? But when I said earlier that some of you may be, for the first time, having a same-sex relationship, and it's exciting, and it's giving you everything that you ever wanted, right? But perhaps until now, you've never considered it. Perhaps until now, the right person didn't come along to awaken that side of you. And up until now, you've been dealing with certain type of people that have just really been sort of oppressive. Yeah, you've been, you know, you've been engaging, but the arguing and the competitiveness of it all has been too oppressive. But this awakening that this person, right, who you never thought in your wildest dreams that this type of person could attract you, is almost awakening a sense of deeper spirituality in you, and a sense of saying, you know what, perhaps I should broaden my construct of what love is. Or perhaps I should broaden my construct of what I require in my love life, you know. There is room for a different kind of connection. And this connection is going to be much more spiritual in a lot of ways, because the way you two are connecting is on such a deeper level that their sex, or that the fact that they are the same sex as you, is almost incidental. Right? It's not about that even. It's about the fact that you've connected with somebody on such a deep spiritual level that it's an awakening for you, that it's opening your eyes. You know, this can happen a lot of times, and I've seen this. I've had quite a few friends this happened to, where they've been maybe even in their 40s, right? And they found someone. And they find themselves in a same-sex relationship, and they say, you know, it's not about the sex at all. It's about the fact that I found someone whose soul is so sort of connected to my own that I've had to change my outlook on what a true connection is. I've had to broaden it. I've had to expand what I consider a love connection to be, because this connection I now have with this person is so palpable and so deep that everything has changed. Death, right? Ace of Swords, clarity has come in, a new kind of clarity that you never expected. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be the same sex, but it can also be someone perhaps from a different religion. If you're a devout Catholic, or if you're a devout, you know, Jew, right? If you're Jewish and you live in that culture, you're supposed to marry another Jewish person, but here you've fallen in love with a Muslim. Oh my God. Heaven forbid, right? This is what I'm talking about, this kind of awakening. And it could very well be, again, also a different religion or cultural background. Whatever the case may be, this new person who's come into your life has just shifted everything for you. And of course, we have the Chariot here. showing that this is a new path for you, a whole new path of understanding, a whole new stage in your life. This is why we have death here. Right? Very strong, man. Some of you have really found something and it's blowing your mind. It's absolutely blowing your mind, but you're sure about it. You know it's the thing for you. You know you want it. And you know that your life will never be the same because now you are making the plans for a whole new different stage in your life to encompass this. Your spiritual or your moral, I'm not even going to say moral because it's not about morals, but it's about spiritual understanding is broadening. Through that spiritual understanding, you will be putting different boundaries in place. Certainly for some people who may be giving you their 2 cents and saying that they don't approve of this union, you're going to be telling them to fuck off. Right? And King of Cups comes in. Fiery as King of Cups comes in, covered by the Knight of Wands. Now, in the Thoth deck, the Knight of Wands is the same as the King. Okay? So we have a King of Wands covering up this King of Cups. So you have fire everywhere. Fiery aspect of water, fiery aspect of fire. This new desire that you have, this new authority and understanding that you have in your life, you absolutely go with it. I'm going to say for some of you, this may even turn into a calling. An example could be if it is a difference of religion, right? You may suddenly get into sort of working on bridging the gap between two cultures that don't understand each other. Another example could be that, yes, if this is your first same-sex relationship that you've fallen into, I feel for some of you, it will also become a passion so that now you may be champion sort of, LGBT community rights and things like that, because now all of a sudden you're in something like this and it's new for you, but you feel so passionate about it. So not only are you taking authority in your love life, but for some of you, this is also going to be a whole new calling for you. It's going to be a whole new sort of, a whole new avenue in your life that you are throwing your passion and your support and sort of your oomph behind, right? You're going to be championing this in a way, right? Very, very strong. Very, very big change for some of you. Beautiful change. Why not? Right? And it is safe for you to love. Could very well be that this is the first time you felt safe in a love connection, because up until now you've been sort of fitting into this box, or you perhaps have been calling on these types of people, characteristics of certain types of people, and it's never felt safe before to you. Now all of a sudden you feel safe. The awareness and understanding that is coming in is so huge. With the Hanged Man, the awakening here is so huge for some of you Capricorns that your whole life is shifting. Right? Very, very strong reading. I hope it resonates. This is it. I'm going to call it mid-December. I know this was a heavy one, and this really may only resonate with 1 or 2 Capricorns out there. But if it does, and if it has helped you in some way, then I have done what I wanted to do, right? Okay, guys, I love you so much, Capricorn. Please like, subscribe, and share. Help me grow my channel. Follow me on Instagram if you'd like. If you want to get a private reading, you want to go deeper into your particular scenario, go ahead and follow those links at the top of your screen. Please make sure to read the description when you're booking. And if you have any trouble booking with me because of your zip code or because you're in a different country, all you have to do is email me, okay? I can provide readings for anyone in the world as long as we can connect with each other in some way. All right, guys, I love you so much. Have a wonderful rest of 2019, and I shall see you in 2020. Bye-bye now.